Welcome back to another Diablo Immortal video. In this video I'm going to be trying out the boss rush modifier for endless mode in Survivor's Bane. Now, to unlock boss rush you need to have completed the rewards in Stampede, and obviously to unlock Stampede mode you need to kill a certain amount of monsters in Legions mode. And obviously to unlock all of this you need to firstly complete Chazarsi, then Ashwald Cemetery, which will then unlock Endless Mode. Once you complete Endless Mode once, you'll be able to pick the first modifier, which is Legions. And then you'll be able to unlock Stampede after you get a certain amount of kills. And then if you kill 50 bosses in Stampede mode, that's going to unlock this new Boss Rush mode, which we're going to try now. So basically all it's saying is bosses spawn more frequently with the normal waves of enemies. Now, it's up to you which of these modifiers you actually want to tick. So, for example, you can go in with only boss rush enabled, but I think to make it really fun and really chaotic, let's just go in and tick everything and see what this boss rush mode is like. And also, there are additional achievements that you can complete and claim rewards for with these different modes. So, for example, down here you've got Boss Killer, where you can get legendary item, you get 40 dust and some gold. That's for killing 50 bosses in endless mode with Stampede active. And then there's another one here, complete endless mode with Legions active, kill 1,000 enemies in endless mode. So there are lots of these other rewards that you can claim in Survivor's Bane. The one which we'll go for is this one here called Boss Rush Challenge. Complete endless mode with Boss Rush active, and I'll get a legendary item, and I'll get some dust and gold as well. So we're aiming to get that reward. So all we have to do is go on these modifiers and let's tick all of them. Hit the X button and we jump in. So here we go. Okay, so this is trying Boss Rush for the very first time, and it's also part of the Hallows Wake event as well. So the atmosphere is going to be a bit darker. I think we're going to get some of the Hallows Wake enemies here as well. So I have got gain 2 resurrections. I don't really like this one, so I'm going to re-roll. Each level up restores 30% of your health and releases a wave of damage to your enemies. Movement speed is increased by 50. I think I'm going to gamble with one more roll. Oh, this isn't bad. So this is the one. So I've tried this before and it was awful. This is where your movement speed is dreadfully slow, but you do take 50% less damage, and the damage is increased by 50%. Lifesteal is also increased, and the pickup distance is increased as well. Now, as we get further on, let's see if we can increase our movement speed to actually compensate for the slow speed. And I've also got the damage is increased by 50% for a short duration. So this is a tricky one because look how slow I'm going to be moving. But let's try and head towards a healing orb and try and increase our movement speed. So you can see I'm oh, hang on, let's grab command skeletons. So you can see that it's the Hallows Wake sort of atmosphere. The edges are a bit dark, the mobs have got sort of a different look to them, like a spooky look. So we've got, I think I'm going to go for the summons because I'm going to need the summons for this boss rush mode. Breath of the Heaven. I think I'm going to get Breath of the Heaven because that's going to increase my movement speed, which we really need because of the modifier buff that I had at the start. Okay, so let's get command skeletons and upgrade them. Now, ideally, I want to try and move toward... I don't even know what I picked there. That was by accident. I clicked Whirlwind, but in fact, that's one which I need because of my movement speed. The Whirlwind will sort of keep the enemies at bay. Right, let's command skeletons. Okay, so we're near... What the hell? Oh, okay, yeah. That healing pool just went away. I wasn't even that close to it. So this is going to be tricky because of my movement speed. But because I've got Boss Rush active, the bosses are going to come up a lot more frequently in this mode. Right, let's level up Bone Spear. And we really need to keep our distance now because I've got reduced movement speed. Let's head towards that healing pool over here. Right, healing increased by 50%. I'm going to go for as much healing as I can. Right, So you can see that I've unlocked Arcane. I've never tried that yet, so I might give that a go. The Summon a Whirlpool that pulls in nearby enemies, dealing continuous damage. Let me try that out because I've not tried that before. I unlocked that not too long ago. Right, I'm going to have to go with Whirlwind here. And then command Golem. Let's get as many summons as I can. Let's increase command Golem damage because it's an arcane skill. Let's level up the arcanes. Let's go for command Skeletons. So we're leveling up very quickly here. And it'll be interesting to see how frequently these bosses actually spawn in this boss rush mode. But the aim is to try and complete the whole mode. So the whole of Endless mode with all 3 modifiers active. Let's go for a duration of Breath of Heaven. Okay, let's go with command Skeletons. Damage increased by 50. Look at the amount of enemies on the screen. I can barely move through them. Arcane. Okay, so radius increased by 30% and pull strength doubled, or command Skeletons. Damage increased. I'm going to go with command Skeletons. The more summons I have, the better in this mode. Okay, let's upgrade and go with Skeletal Champions explode after 5 seconds. No, I think I'm going to replace them with archers and will not be attacked, so they don't get provoked. That healing pool went away. Oh, hang on. This is because, of course, the healing pool is going away because of the buff that I picked up at the start of this mode, where the radius of the drop collection is increased. I was wondering why that was the case. So I'm going to go with area effect range. I think that might help my Whirlwind and Breath of Arcane. And also the radius for the vortex will increase with that buff. Okay, I'm going to need some help here. Try to dodge some of these fireballs. And I'm going to move away. Oh, okay, my health went up quite quickly there. I was going to head towards the healing orb, but my health went up quite nicely. Wow, so I'm really picking up these shrines from really far away. Movement speed increased, so this should compensate for the slow movement speed at the start. So yeah, that buff isn't too bad. I made a short about it ages ago when I first picked it up because it was so slow. I wasn't going to use it at all, and I quit. But this time I've given it a go, and it's not too bad. So I'm going to go with Breath of Heaven now. Damages enemies, and go with Bone Golem. Increased damage for Golem again. Is that 2 bosses? Got 2 bosses here, as well as Stampede. So you've got 3 modifiers active at the same time in this endless mode. Right, so I'm going to do Golem takes 30% of damage dealt to the player and will stun nearby enemies for 3 seconds upon death. That'll give me a bit more survivability. Right, what do we have here? Area effect duration increased. And let's level up the arcane skill. Okay, 1 boss down, another boss to go here. So we want as much healing as we can get, and we want to obviously keep those summons up. And you can see the radius of my area effect skills have gone up a lot more as well. Let's go with projectiles can create an explosion upon killing an enemy. Oh, here's the whirlpool. Okay, so what's happening now? Where are the enemies? Okay, we go. It just took a while to show up. So let's see when the next boss appears. I wonder if they're going to save the butcher till the end again, or if the butcher still appears earlier on in the boss rush mode. Okay, let's have a look. It's the first time I'm seeing the upgrade for Vortex. So restore 5% of your maximum life per second. Vortex transforms into a water spout that knocks enemies. No, I'm going to go with the life just for survivability for a bit later on when I get a lot more bosses showing up. Okay, now doesn't matter which ones I level up now, so the whirlwind was kind of an accidental click, but it's not too bad really, because especially I've got low movement speed, so the whirlwind's quite handy just to push enemies out the way as I'm trying to head towards something. 900 kills. Okay, here's the next boss. Probably should level up Bone Spear as well, as that's the main primary attack. That Conduit Shrine. That shrine I activated from so far away. I do really love this mode. But I think once I've finished with this boss rush mode, I don't think I'll go back to it until it comes around again, because I've pretty much got most of the rewards that you can get. There's only some class specific rewards. I think for Crusader and Barbarian, Blood Knight as well, some skills that I need to grab. Right, I'm going to go with lightning damage for Bone Spear, and I think now there's only one more skill that I need to get, which is... Also, I've got... Okay, I'm going to go for the healing. So I've got as much survivability as I can get from the skills which I pick now, from all of their upgrades. So health-wise, we should be okay. And obviously, because all skills are maxed, I just get some loot, and each upgrade yields a chance for the following rewards. Survivor's Bane is a really, really good way to get legendary items. So yesterday I must have got like 8-9 legendary gear, I think even more, just from doing Survivor's Bane for quite a long time. And obviously the other loot you get, the gold, dust if you need it for any upgrade. So if you still haven't ranked up your gear to 30, I'd definitely recommend doing some endless mode runs in Survivor's Bane for quite a while. You will end up getting loads of loot. Okay, that's another boss out of the way. What should we go for? Area effect duration, I think, which should help some of these skills that I have with area of effect, like this one. $1,500 kills now. Look at those whirlpools. I had 2 of them on at once. So yeah, this movement speed buff at the very start of the match wasn't too bad in the end. It's very, very slow, but you know, you've got a decent amount of survivability, and the damage is still fantastic. Okay, which is the next boss up here? Oh, here we go. Here's the boss. So this boss shouldn't be too bad if I just stay within this circle and just watch the floor, look out for his attacks. His health's going down nicely. The golem is... There's one golem down south taking out some enemies, and one hitting the boss. And I think the other modifier I had at the start was if I stand still for a certain amount of time, I end up dealing more damage. So I'm going to give that a try. I'll stand still for a little while here. Okay, we have another boss. It's definitely a boss rush. I'm getting one boss after the other here. Not giving us much of a break. I'm going to go with, for every active summon, damage is increased by 6%. It's a shame we didn't get the 8 skill buff at the start, because that's really fun, and we can have a couple of extra skills. Right, let's go for that shrine. So I've not really had to go towards the healing pools much with this setup. Cool, so that one's done. Let's go to Frozen Tundra and have a different change of scenery. I wonder if they're ever going to do a cow level in Survivor's Bane, because that would work well. So here's the victory screen and the 23 pieces of equipment that I've earned. And let's continue into the next mode, which is next level, sorry, for Frozen Tundra, and see how frequently the bosses spawn in this mode. I'm really glad I actually picked Whirlwind by accident at the start, because that's coming in really handy here. And the whirlpools are doing some nice damage as well, sucking the enemies in, sort of taking them out. Okay, we have our first boss appeared. Is it? Yeah, it's the Summoner. I hate this boss. Especially in terrorists, and not terrorists, sorry, hell bounties. In Inferno 3 hell bounties and challenge rifts, this guy deals some serious damage. Okay, so we've got two bosses here now. I can't actually see what the second one is. So many enemies on screen. I'm just keeping my distance a little bit, just in case, because I know these bosses are quite deadly. I don't want to get stuck right in between them. Okay, so both bosses are next to each other here, so my error effect damage will be able to grab them both at once. Ooh, I got hit really hard there. Luckily my life is regenerating really quickly. I feel like I've got like the perfect setup for this mode. Oh, nearly died. That was close. I need one of these bosses to go down at least. So we have movement speed. I definitely want movement speed. I think I'm going to focus on movement speed now, just so I can head for some of the shrines if I need to and just get out of the way. One boss left. Just going to circle around him. So many enemies on screen. The performance of this mode isn't too bad actually as well. It's not as bad as Vanguard anyway. It's laggy as hell. What do we have? We've got damage increased by 30%. I'm going to go for that. And there's another boss that spawned already. So I think if you don't kill the bosses quick enough, then you're going to keep getting more bosses spawning together. So I think in boss rush mode you do want to try and kill the boss as quick as you can, just so you don't get stacked with 2 or 3 bosses at once. There's another summoner. Damn. I'm so glad I've got this life regeneration, because I would have been dead ages ago otherwise. It's really tempting to go get some more equipment from the enemies that are being pointed at the side of the screen, but because of the slow movement speed, I think it might just take too long, so doing okay at the moment. So I think I'm just going to stay here and just keep attacking the bosses and just get the equipment upgrade from the bosses. So let's go for movement speed. So you want to try and get back to a normal movement speed that you would have if I didn't pick that buff at the start. Oh wow, cool. So that's victory on Frozen Tundra. Now it's placed us into the next area, so obviously it's a nice change of scenery again, but we've still got the dark shroud around the screen because it's Hallow's Wake, and we've got the enemies that have these these crates that they're holding, it seems like. Different kind of monsters specific to Hallow's Wake. Right, let's move around a little bit to these enemies that drop equipment. And we have our first boss already. Okay, this boss isn't too bad. I'm glad it's not the summoner. But I'm just taking out this yellow enemy at the moment to... Oh, we've got 2 bosses. Okay, I just wanted another equipment upgrade before I fight the boss. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to go with critical hit chance increased by 40% and then head towards the boss. So I'm going to make sure I stay within this circle that I've created to make use of the buff. You've got the whirlpool that's doing damage to the bosses as well, continuous damage. Got my summons fighting away. I'm glad I've got the arcane golem as well, it's really handy. There's so many enemies on screen. And 13 minutes into boss rush at the moment. Okay, so let's go with movement speed's max, so let's go with critical hit chance increased by 60% and then damage increased by 40% while no enemies are in melee range. Well, that's not going to happen much, but I'll get the crit hit chance go up. Okay, another equipment increase, so I'm going to go with health's not too bad, so let's go with damage just to take these bosses out a bit quicker. Okay, let's move towards a different area. I can't even avoid the healing pools and the other shrines because of the increased globe collection. I can't really avoid them because I'm just going to pick them up from really far away. I'm trying to look for another damage shrine. Got a healing pool. I was hoping there was going to be another damage shrine around here. Another healing pool there. This one will do. I was hoping over the other one. Just some additional lightning damage on the boss. It definitely helps. Okay, so we're heading into frozen tundra now. In 5 seconds. So it's not bad so far. Okay, here's the victory screen. So we've got 33 pieces of equipment. 2 buffs active. Okay, in frozen tundra. Right, the first boss in Frozen Tundra has arrived, so let's see which boss it is. And let's see if we can take it out quick enough before the second boss spawns. I'm still going to make sure I keep moving as well. Okay, I think that's the second boss to spawn, so we've got 2 bosses now at one time. And the butcher, so this is the end. Right, so really got to be careful here. Because the butcher can take your health down really quickly. And obviously we've still got the other 2 bosses active at the same time as well. If I can take out as many enemies in this circle, it will make it easier for when I fight the butcher. Okay, I've got the butcher in between 2 other bosses. Let's hang around here for a few seconds just to see what the health bar's like. So the health bar's bouncing back up really quickly actually after I get hit. So yeah, the skills that I've picked are definitely doing a great job for survivability here. I may be able to take all 3 bosses out at once. Okay, I've got a healing pool that's just been activated. If things get a bit messy, I'm going to head towards a damage shrine. But I think it's looking okay at the moment. I'm just making sure I keep moving around, watching the floor to make sure I don't stand in too many of those circles or get in the way of any of these attacks. Try and stay in the middle as much as I can. One boss is nearly down. And then it'll be the other shade before I fight the butcher. Okay, we've got one boss down, and let's go with critical hit chance increased, which should help with the remaining 2 bosses. Ah, perfect! We just had a shrine spawn exactly where we are. And that's going to help massively to take down the health of these 2 bosses. Okay, so it's only the butcher left now. And the butcher's on about 20% health. And here we go. Done. There's the boss rush challenge reward popped up on the right of the screen. And that's a victory. So that's 17 minutes, 17 seconds. Kill bonus we've got there. So we had 2 buffs. And the skills we had were Bone Spear, Command Skeletons, Breath of Heaven, Whirlwind, Vortex and Command Golem. And the buffs I had were Slow and Steady and Patience. And we've got some legendary, we've got some XP, we've got some gold, we've got some scraps, more gold and dust. So let's exit. And now if we have a look at our achievements, I should have got that achievement unlocked. So here we go. So complete endless mode with boss rush active. Let's collect that legendary. There we go. So yeah, I'm pretty much done with Survivor's Bane. I mean, I don't think I'm going to bother getting... these are the only ones I've got left. Blood Knight, Demon Hunter, Crusader and Barbarian. The rewards are not much, I guess. I mean, I could do it if I want. I'll just probably go into endless mode until I get the skill where you get the 8 skills. And then sort of just make sure I manage to get these Demon Hunter or Blood Knight, Crusader skills. So maybe I might do them. But I did manage to clear all the other rewards here. So yeah, that is what boss rush mode looks like in Diablo Immortal Survivor's Bane. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching, and yeah, try it out yourself and have fun with it. Bye.